Lisa Grant walked through the long halls of the Galactic Council Station. Her shoes made soft sounds on the metal floor. Other aliens moved past her without looking. Some had blue skin. Others had forearms or big eyes. None of them paid attention. To the human woman, Lisa was Earth's main voice in the galaxy. She had held this job for 5 years now. In that time, she had learned one important thing. The galaxy saw humans as nothing special. The human ship HSS Discovery sat in the station's dock. It was small compared to the alien ships around it. The Discovery looked old and simple. Its hull was gray and plain. No fancy lights or sleek design like the other ships. Jake Morrison stood on the Discovery's bridge. He was the ship's commander. Jake watched the alien ships through the main window. Their ships were beautiful and powerful looking. The human ship felt tiny next to them. Commander Morrison called out his communications officer. "We have a message from Ambassador Grant." Jake nodded. "Put it through." Lisa's voice came through the speakers. "Jake, the council meeting is starting soon. How are things on your end?" "All quiet here," Jake replied. "The dock workers barely notice us." Same as always. Jake was right. The aliens who worked at the station treated the human ship like an old piece of furniture, something that was there, but not worth thinking about. The Discovery had a crew of only 20 people. Most alien ships carried hundreds or thousands. Dr. Maya Roberts sat in the council chamber. She was part of Lisa's small team. Maya took notes during the meetings. She watched and listened while the important aliens talked. The chamber was huge. Seats rose up in circles like an old theater. Representatives from dozens of worlds sat in those seats. The humans had only 3 seats in a corner. They were the smallest delegation there. "The Zephyrian Empire wishes to speak," announced the council leader. His voice echoed through the chamber. A tall alien with gray skin stood up. General Vex was the Zephyrian military leader. His uniform was covered in medals and symbols of rank. "Fellow council members," General Vex began, "the Zephyrian Empire has identified new territories for development. These outer rim systems are mostly empty. We claim them for our people." Maya wrote down everything he said. She had been tracking Zephyrian movements for months. They were getting bolder, taking more territory, building more ships. An alien with 6 arms raised a question. "General Vex, some of those systems have small colonies. What about their rights?" General Vex waved his hand like he was brushing away a fly. "Those colonies are tiny. Barely a few. Million beings total. They can relocate if needed." Maya knew some of those colonies were human. But when she looked around the chamber, no one seemed to care. The humans were too small to matter. Lisa finally stood up. "The human delegation requests permission to speak." A few aliens turned to look at her. Most kept talking among themselves. The council leader sighed. "Very well. The human representative may speak." "Some of those outer rim systems have human settlements," Lisa said. "We ask that their rights be considered." General Vex laughed. It was not a nice sound. "The humans have, 2 billion people total? Scattered across a handful of worlds? Your entire species is smaller than one of our cities." Other aliens joined in the laughter. Maya felt her face turn red, but she kept writing. She recorded every insult and every dismissal. "We are a peaceful people," Lisa continued. "We only ask for fair treatment under galactic law." Of course," the council leader said in a bored voice. "We will consider human concerns. Now, let us move to more important matters." Lisa sat down. The meeting continued without her. The aliens discussed trade routes and military agreements. They talked about the big issues that affected powerful species. Humans were forgotten again. After the meeting, Maya walked with Lisa back to the Discovery. That went well, Maya said with bitter humor. It always goes the same way, Lisa replied. They see us as harmless, too small to worry about. Jake met them at the ship's entrance. How did it go? About as expected, Lisa said. The Zephyrians are claiming more territory. Some of it is ours. Jake's face got hard. Are they moving ships? Our sources say yes, Maya answered. A large fleet is gathering near their home system. The three humans stood in silence for a moment. They all knew what this meant. The Zephyrians would take what they wanted. The galaxy would let them. Humans would have to move or fight. Send a message to Earth, Lisa said quietly. Tell them the situation is getting worse. Jake nodded. I'll use the quantum communicator. Direct channel. Maya raised an eyebrow. The quantum communicator was their most secret piece of technology. The aliens thought humans only had basic radio systems. Are you sure? Maya asked. Yes. Lisa said, it's time to wake up the folks back home. That night, Jake sent the message. It traveled instantly across the galaxy, past alien patrol ships that could not detect it, through space lanes that aliens thought they controlled, all the way to Earth. On Earth, Admiral Kate Sullivan received the message. She read it twice. Then she walked to her window and looked out at the night sky. So it begins, she said to herself. Above Earth's surface, in the darkness of space, things began to move. Things that had been waiting for 30 years. Things that the galaxy had never seen. The aliens thought they knew everything about humans. They thought humans were weak and few. They thought human technology was simple and outdated. They were about to learn how wrong they were. But for now, Lisa Grant walked through the station halls. Jake Morrison watched alien ships from his small bridge. Maya Roberts wrote notes that no one would read. The galaxy saw them as nothing special. Just another minor species trying to survive among the giants. That was exactly what humans wanted them to think. Admiral Kate Sullivan stood in the command center of Haven Station. Through the massive windows, she could see Earth like she had never seen it before. The planet was covered in lights. Cities stretched across every continent. Floating platforms dotted the oceans. Ships moved between orbital stations like busy ants. This was the real Earth, the Earth that no alien had ever seen. Admiral, called Dr. Alex Rivera. He was the head of human intelligence. We have the latest reports from our field agents. Kate turned from the window. What do our people say? Alex pulled up a holographic display. It showed the galaxy with thousands of small dots scattered across it. Each dot was a human agent. Traders, miners, diplomats, and tourists. All of them were really spies. The Zephyrians are definitely moving, Alex said. 300 ships have left their home system. They're heading for the outer rim. Kate nodded. She had expected this. What about the other species? Most are staying neutral. The Altarians are worried, but won't act. The Centauri Federation is focused on their own problems. The Council thinks this is just another small territorial dispute. Kate walked to a different window. This one showed the shipyards around Earth. Massive structures stretched for miles. Inside them, ships were being built. Ships that would make the largest alien vessels look like toys. How long have we been preparing for this? Kate asked. 32 years, Alex replied. Ever since first contact. Kate remembered those early days. When the first alien ship had arrived at Earth, humans had been excited and scared. The aliens had been friendly enough. They welcomed Earth into the galactic community. They offered trade and knowledge, but they had also been clear about one thing. The galaxy was dangerous. Weak species got conquered or wiped out. Only the strong survived. So humanity had made a choice. They would appear weak while becoming strong. The plan had 3 parts. First, hide Earth's real population and industrial capacity. Second, build the most advanced military in the galaxy. Third, watch and learn everything about their neighbors. Show me the fleet status. Kate ordered. Alex pressed some buttons. The display changed to show the Sol system. At first, it looked normal. The sun, the planets, some asteroid belts. But then Alex pressed another button. Suddenly, the system was full of ships. Thousands of them. They had been hiding in the asteroid belt, behind Jupiter's moons, in the shadow of Saturn's rings. The entire system was one giant military base. Current strength? Kate asked. 12,000 combat vessels, Alex replied. From fighters to super dreadnoughts. All with technology at least 50 years ahead of anything the galaxy has seen. Kate smiled. It was not a nice smile. And they think we have maybe 20 old patrol boats. Exactly. Our fake fleet puts on a good show. Slow, clumsy ships with obvious weaknesses. The aliens feel sorry for us. The fake fleet had been Kate's idea. A few dozen ships that looked like humanity's best effort. They were actually remote-controlled drones with human actors on video calls. The real human ships stayed hidden. What about our colonies? Kate asked. Alex pulled up another display. It showed the Outer Rim territories. According to galactic records, humans had maybe 5 small colonies with a few million people each. The truth was different. Humans had 73 worlds and countless space stations. Their population was over 400 billion. They controlled a quarter of the galaxy's outer rim. The camouflage is holding, Alex said. Sensor barriers make our worlds look empty or uninhabitable. False data feeds convince alien scouts that they're seeing asteroid fields or gas clouds. Kate nodded. The sensor barriers had been expensive and difficult to build, but they made. Human space looked like nothing but empty systems and space rocks. Admiral, a new voice called out. It was General Ryan Cooper, commander of the Sol Defense Fleet. We just received Ambassador Grant's message. The Zephyrians are definitely moving against our territory. Kate turned to face him. How long due? We have? Maybe 2 weeks before they reach New Boston, Ryan replied. Colonel Ben Hayes is ready for them. Kate knew Ben Hayes. He commanded the defense force at New Boston. According to Galactic Intelligence, it was 12 old patrol boats protecting a farming colony. The reality was very different. New Boston was one of humanity's most heavily defended worlds. It had 50 million people living in underground cities. The orbital defenses included fortress stations that could destroy entire fleets. The 12 patrol boats were actually advanced stealth fighters. Are we ready to drop the pretense? Kate asked. Alex and Ryan looked at each other. They had been planning for this day for decades. The day when humanity would stop hiding and show their true strength. The deep strike teams are in position, Alex said. We have agents near every major Zephyrian military base. The moment they attack us, we can hit them back across their entire empire. Our main fleets are ready to deploy, Ryan added. We can have 5,000 ships at New Boston within hours. Kate walked back to the window showing Earth. She thought about all the humans who had lived and died believing they were a small, weak species struggling to survive. They had never known the truth. There's something else, Alex said quietly. Our long-range scouts have detected something concerning. Kate turned around. What? The Zephyrians aren't acting alone. We've intercepted communications, suggesting they have backing from the hegemony. The hegemony was the galaxy's dominant military power. They controlled the core worlds and most of the major trade routes. If they were supporting the Zephyrian expansion, it meant bigger trouble. Do they know about us? Kate asked. No, Alex replied. But they're testing the waters. If the Zephyrians succeed in taking human territory without resistance, the hegemony might make their own move. Kate understood. This wasn't just about the Outer Rim territories. This was about whether humanity would remain free or become someone's. Subjects, signal all our hidden bases, Kate ordered. Begin Protocol 7. Alex's eyes widened. Protocol 7 was the plan to reveal human military strength. Once it started, there would be no going back to hiding. Are you sure, Admiral? Ryan asked. Kate looked out at the ships being built in Earth's orbital yards. Ships that would soon carry humanity's message to the galaxy. The message was simple. We are not weak, we are not few, and we will not be conquered. I'm sure, Kate sighed. 30 years of hiding is enough. It's time to show the galaxy who we really are. Across human space, signals began to reach hidden bases and concealed fleets. Ships that had stayed in the shadows for decades began to power up their engines. Weapons that had been built in secret were loaded and targeted. The galaxy was about to discover that humanity had been playing a very long game. And now it was time to show their hand. Admiral Korvax stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the human colony grow larger on the main screen. New Boston looked exactly like his intelligence reports had described. A simple farming world with basic orbital platforms and mining. Stations, 200 ships against one small colony. Korvax said to his aide, "This will be over quickly." The Zephyrian fleet dropped out of hyperspace in perfect formation. Their ships were sleek and powerful. Each one carried enough firepower to level a city. Korvax had brought enough force to conquer 10 worlds like this one. "Sir," his communications officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the planet." "Put it through," Korvax ordered. A human face appeared on the screen. A man looked tired and worried. He wore a simple military uniform with colonel's rank markings. "This is Colonel Ben Hayes of the new Boston Defense Force," the human said. "I need to speak with your commander." Korvax stepped forward. "I am Admiral Korvax of the Zephyrian Empire. You will surrender your world immediately. Resist, and your people will suffer." Ben Hayes sighed. "Admiral, I'm going to give you one chance to turn around and leave. Take your ships and go home." Korvax laughed. "You have 12 patrol boats and some mining platforms. I have 200 warships. Do you think this is a joke?" "No joke," Ben replied. "I'm being serious. Leave now, or face the consequences." The transmission ended. Korvax shook his head. Humans were clearly insane. Did they think brave words would stop plasma cannons? "Begin the attack," Korvax ordered. "Target their orbital platforms first." The Zephyrian ships moved forward, their weapons charged up, ready to destroy the pathetic human defenses. Korvax watched with satisfaction as his fleet approached the mining platforms. Then something impossible happened. The mining platforms changed. Metal panels slid away to reveal massive weapons. Energy shields flickered to life around each platform. What had looked like simple mining equipment transformed into fortress stations. "What is this?" Korvax demanded, before anyone could answer. The fortress stations opened fire. But these weren't normal weapons. The energy beams passed right through the Zephyrian shields like they weren't there. They struck hull armor directly and tore through it like paper. 3 Zephyrian ships exploded in the first 10 seconds. "Impossible," Korvax shouted. "Those are dimensional weapons. How do humans have dimensional technology?" More explosions lit up space around the Zephyrian fleet. The weapons from the platform seemed to ignore every defense the aliens had. Shields, armor, even their emergency barriers did nothing to stop the human attacks. "Sir," the tactical officer yelled, "the human patrol boats are moving." Korvax looked at the display. The 12 small human ships were indeed moving toward his fleet, but something was wrong with the sensor readings. The ships were getting bigger on the screen. Are they approaching us? Korvax asked. No, sir, the officer replied with fear in his voice. They're not getting closer. They're getting bigger. As Korvax watched, the human patrol boats shed their outer hulls like snakes shedding skin. Underneath were ships 3 times larger and far more advanced. Sleek black vessels with weapons that made Zephyrian technology look primitive. Stealth technology, Korvax whispered. They were hiding their real ships inside fake ones. The human fighters moved like nothing Korvax had ever seen. They danced between Zephyrian ships, firing weapons that seemed to bend space itself. Torpedoes appeared inside enemy hulls without passing through the armor. Energy beams struck from impossible angles. 20 more Zephyrian ships died in the next minute. Sir, we need to retreat. His aide shouted over the noise of alarms. But Korvax couldn't retreat. Not yet. He had to understand what was happening. How did humans have technology like this? Get me intelligence command, he ordered. I need to know how we missed this. The communication came through filled with static and panic. Admiral, we're receiving reports from across the Empire. Human ships are attacking our supply bases. They appeared out of nowhere. Korvax felt ice in his stomach. What do you mean, across the Empire? 3 systems are under attack. Mining stations, fuel depots, shipyards. The humans are hitting everything at once. How many ships do they have? That was the question Korvax was beginning to fear. Intelligence had said humans had maybe 50 ships total. But the attacks were happening across dozens of star systems at the same time. Another wave of explosions brought his attention back to the battle. Half his fleet was gone. The surviving ships were trying to retreat, but the human fighters were faster and more maneuverable. Sir, his communications officer called out. The human colonel is transmitting again. Ben Hayes appeared on the screen again, but now he wasn't alone. Behind him, Korvax could see a command center filled with advanced technology. Holographic displays showed the entire battle in real time. Admiral Korvax, Ben said calmly, I told you to leave. Now it's too late. This is impossible, Korvax said. Humans are a minor species. You have primitive technology and small numbers. Ben smiled. It was not a friendly expression. That's what we wanted you to think. Did you really believe a species could develop space travel and still be that backward? More Zephyrian ships exploded on the display. Korvax now had fewer than 50 vessels left out of his original 200. The truth is, Admiral, we've been watching you for 30 years. We know everything about your technology, your tactics, your weaknesses. You know nothing about us. Ben pressed a button on his console. The image changed to show space around. New Boston. But now there were more ships visible. Dozens of them. All human. All massive. All pointing weapons at what remained of the Zephyrian fleet. Where did they come from? Korvax whispered. They were always there, Ben replied. Hidden. Waiting. Just like ships all across human space. Just like the ships currently visiting your home worlds. The display changed again. This time it showed Zephyrian space, but it wasn't empty like it should be. Human ships were everywhere, attacking bases, destroying supply lines, crippling the Zephyrian war machine. This is just the beginning, Ben continued. You attacked one human world. We can attack every Zephyrian world at the same time. Your choice, Admiral. Surrender now, or watch your empire burn. Korvax looked at his remaining ships. Less than 50 out of 200. His empire was under attack across dozens of systems. And the humans were offering terms. What do you want? He asked quietly. Full withdrawal from human space. Reparations for the damage you've caused. And a promise that you'll never threaten human colonies again. Korvax closed his eyes. His military career was over. His empire's expansion plans were finished. The humans had outplayed them completely. "I accept your terms," he said. The attack stopped immediately. The human ships held their positions, but didn't fire. Ben Hayes nodded with satisfaction. "Smart choice, Admiral. You can keep your remaining ships. Consider them a gift. Next time you think about attacking humans, remember this day." As the Zephyrian fleet limped away from New Boston, Korvax wondered how many other species the humans were watching. How many other minor civilizations were actually hiding vast military forces? The galaxy was about to become a very different place. The Galactic Council emergency session was called within hours of the first reports. Delegates from across the galaxy gathered in the Great Chamber, all talking at once. Nobody could believe what they were hearing. Council leader Vex Prime called for order. His forearms waved frantically as he tried to control the chaos. "Please, we must discuss these reports calmly." "Calmly?" shouted the Altarian representative. "The Zephyrians lost 150 ships to humans." "Humans? How is that possible?" Maya Roberts sat in the human section, taking notes as always. But today felt different. Today, she wasn't being ignored. Every alien in the chamber kept looking at the human delegation with new eyes. "The reports must be wrong," said the Centauri delegate. "Human technology is primitive. Their weapons are decades behind ours." "Then explain this," said General Vex, who had arrived with the emergency fleet. He activated a holographic display. That showed the battle at New Boston. The chamber fell silent as they watched human weapons tear through Zephyrian shields like they were made of paper. They saw human ships appear from nowhere, moving faster than anything in the galactic database. "Dimensional weapons," whispered the hegemony's military advisor. "Those are dimensional weapons." "How do humans have technology we don't even understand?" The chamber erupted in voices again. Some aliens were angry. Others were scared. A few were demanding immediate action against the human threat. Then the lights dimmed. A new voice came through the communication system. "Galactic Council, this is Admiral Kate Sullivan of the Human Space Force. I request permission to address this assembly." Every head turned toward the main display screen. Instead of showing empty space, it showed something that made several. Delegates gasped in shock. A human ship filled the screen. But this wasn't like the small discovery that usually brought human representatives to the station. This ship was enormous. It dwarfed even the largest hegemony battleships. "I am speaking from the HSS Leviathan," Kate's voice continued. "We are currently holding position outside your defensive perimeter." Vex Prime activated the station's long-range sensors. What he saw made him sit down hard in his chair. The human ship wasn't alone. Hundreds of vessels surrounded the Council station, ships of sizes and designs the galaxy had never seen. "How many ships do you have out there?" Vex Prime asked with a shaking voice. "This is just my escort fleet," Kate replied calmly. 300 ships seemed appropriate for a diplomatic mission. Lisa Grant stood up in the human section. But today she wasn't requesting permission to speak. Today she walked to the central podium like she owned it. "Honored delegates," Lisa began. "I believe some corrections are needed to your records about humanity." She activated her own holographic display. It showed the galaxy as the Council knew it. Human territory was marked in tiny dots scattered across the outer rim. "This is what you think human space looks like," Lisa said. Then she pressed a button. The display changed dramatically. Now human territory covered nearly a quarter of the galaxy. Massive industrial systems, heavily defended worlds, and military bases appeared on the map. "This is what human space actually looks like," Lisa announced. The chamber was dead silent. Several delegates were staring at the display with open mouths. "Population estimates have also been incorrect," Lisa continued. Current human population is 412 billion, spread across 73 worlds and countless orbital habitats. That's impossible, the Altarian delegate stammered. We've surveyed those systems. They're empty. You surveyed what we wanted you to see, Lisa replied. Sensor barriers, false readings, and holographic projections. We've been hiding in plain sight for 30 years. Dr. Maya Roberts stepped forward to join Lisa at the podium. Today she wasn't just taking notes. Today she was part of the presentation. Military strength records also need updating, Maya said. She brought up a new display showing fleet numbers. Current human space force consists of 52,000 combat vessels. This ranges from patrol craft to super dreadnoughts like the Leviathan. The hegemony's military advisor stood up. You're saying humans have the largest fleet in the galaxy? By far, Maya confirmed. We also have the most advanced technology. Our ships are typically 50 to 70 years ahead of current galactic standards. Why? Vex Prime asked. Why hide all this? Why pretend to be weak? Lisa looked around the chamber. Because 30 years ago, when we first joined this council, we learned an important lesson. The galaxy respects only strength, but it also fears strength. We chose to appear harmless while becoming powerful. And it worked, Maya added. For 3 decades, we've watched and learned. We know the capabilities of every major fleet. We understand your technologies, your tactics, your political structures. You know almost nothing about us. A new voice spoke from the back of the chamber. Commander Steve Adams had entered with a security escort. He wore the uniform of the human Space Force, not the simple clothes of a minor species. The age of human secrecy is over, Steve announced. Recent events have forced us to reveal our true position. The galaxy will need time to adjust to the new reality. What new reality? The Centauri delegate demanded. Steve walked to the center of the chamber. The reality that humanity is now the dominant military power in the galaxy. We have more ships, better technology, and superior intelligence networks than any other species. The hegemony representative stood up. This is unacceptable. The hegemony has maintained galactic order for centuries. We will not tolerate this. This deception. Kate's voice came through the speakers again. Representative Korth, I suggest you check your long-range sensors. The hegemony delegate activated his personal communicator. After a few moments, his face went pale. Admiral, how many ships do you have in our space? Enough, Kate replied simply. As of 1 hour ago, human fleets are positioned near every major hegemony world. We're not threatening anyone. We're simply making our presence known. This changes everything, Vex Prime said quietly. The balance of power in the galaxy has shifted overnight. Not overnight, Lisa corrected. Over 30 years. You just didn't know it was happening. Maya brought up another display. This one showed trade routes, resource flows, and economic data. Human industrial capacity exceeds the next 5 species combined. Our manufacturing output has been hidden behind shell companies and false registrations. You've been manipulating galactic markets? The Altarian delegate asked. We've been participating in them, Maya replied. Very successfully. Many of the alien companies you trade with are actually human-owned. The chamber buzzed with worried conversations. Delegates were calling their home governments, trying to understand how badly their intelligence had failed. What do you want? Vex Prime finally asked. Why reveal yourselves now? Lisa looked around the chamber one more time. We want what we've always wanted. Peace, security, and fair treatment under galactic law. The difference is, now we have the power to ensure we get it. Steve stepped forward. The Zephyrian attack on New Boston was the final straw. We will not tolerate aggression against human colonies. Anyone who threatens human space will face the full might of our military. Are you threatening us? The hegemony representative demanded. We're informing you, Kate's voice replied from the speakers. The galaxy has a new major power. You can work with us, or you can be replaced by species that will. As the session continued, it became clear that everything had changed. The small, weak humans were gone. In their place stood a civilization that had quietly become the strongest force in the galaxy. The age of human hiding was over. The age of human leadership had begun. 6 months had passed since the revelation at the Galactic Council. The galaxy was still adjusting to its new reality. Admiral Kate Sullivan stood in her office on Haven Station, looking out at the construction yards that were no longer hidden. The ships being built that were different now. Instead of weapons of war, they were vessels of peace. Exploration ships, medical vessels, and trade freighters. Humanity no longer needed to hide its strength, so it could focus on using that strength wisely. Admiral Dr. Alex Rivera entered the office with a data pad, the final reports from the peace negotiations. Kate took the pad and read through it. The Zephyrian Empire had agreed to all human terms. Complete withdrawal from disputed territories, reparations for the attacked colonies, and a non-aggression treaty that would last for 50 years. How are they handling the transition? Kate asked. Better than expected, Alex replied. Admiral Korvax has been promoted to head of their new diplomatic corps. Turns out losing a battle can teach valuable lessons about avoiding wars. Kate smiled. And the other species? Mixed reactions. The smaller civilizations are relieved. They see us as protection against larger aggressors. The major powers are still nervous, but they're adapting. Through the window, Kate could see ships from dozens of different species docking at Haven Station. What had once been humanity's secret base was now a major diplomatic and trade center. Any word from Ambassador Grant? Kate asked. She's doing well at the council. The human delegation has expanded to 200 members. We now have representation on every major committee. Lisa Grant was no longer the ignored voice in the corner. As the representative of the galaxy's most powerful military force, every word she spoke carried weight. Other delegates sought her opinions, and support. Jake Morrison commanded a very different ship now. The HSS Discovery had been replaced by the HSS Enterprise, a massive exploration vessel with a crew of 3,000. His mission was to map the unknown regions beyond the galactic rim. Dr. Maya Roberts had become the head of the new Galactic Intelligence Sharing Initiative. Her job was to coordinate information between species to prevent conflicts before they started. The skills she had learned taking notes in ignored corners now helped maintain peace across the galaxy. What about our hidden colonies? Kate asked. Are we ready to reveal them all? Alex consulted his datapad. Phase 3 of the revelation is proceeding smoothly. We're bringing 12 more systems online each month. The galactic database is being updated to show humanity's true territorial extent. Each revelation was carefully planned. Too much too fast would destabilize galactic politics. Too little would leave humanity's new position unclear. The process required patience and skill. Colonel Ben Hayes had become a celebrity of sorts. The human officer who had defeated a Zephyrian invasion fleet with 12 ships was invited to speak at military academies across the galaxy. His lectures on deception and misdirection were always packed. The defense grid at New Boston performed perfectly. Alex continued. We're sharing the basic technology with allied species. Not the dimensional weapons, of course, but enough to help them protect themselves. Kate nodded. Humanity's policy was clear. They would share defensive technology freely, but keep their most advanced weapons secret. The galaxy didn't need more ways to destroy itself. Admiral, a new voice called. From the doorway. Commander Steve Adams entered with his own report. The Expeditionary Force is ready for deployment. Steve commanded the Human Expeditionary Force, a fleet of 20,000 ships tasked with maintaining peace throughout the galaxy. It was a visible reminder of human power, but also a promise of human protection. Where are we sending the first units? Kate asked. The Rigel sector, Steve replied. Pirates have been attacking trade convoys. The local authorities asked for our help. It was a common request now. Systems that had once feared calling attention to themselves now asked humanity for protection. The galaxy's strongest military was becoming its police force. Rules of engagement? Kate asked. Standard peacekeeping protocols. Minimum force necessary. Capture rather than destroy when possible. We're there to stop the pirates, not start a war. Kate approved the mission. With a nod. The Expeditionary Force had handled dozens of similar situations in recent months. Pirates, territorial disputes, and trade conflicts were all resolved quickly and fairly under human oversight. What about the hegemony? Kate asked. Are they still causing problems? Alex consulted his notes. They've been remarkably cooperative lately. I think our demonstration near their core worlds made an impression. They're actually requesting joint training exercises with our forces. Interesting, Kate mused. 6 months ago, they wanted to maintain galactic order. Now they want to learn from us. Power has a way of changing perspectives, Steve observed. When you're the strongest, everyone wants to be your friend. Kate walked back to the window. Outside, she could see the daily traffic of the new galaxy. Human ships worked alongside alien vessels. Trade flowed freely between species that had once been suspicious of each other. Any reports from our deep space scouts? Kate asked. Admiral Nick Palmer's long-range fleet has identified 3 new civilizations beyond the rim, Alex replied. All appear to be peaceful. First contact protocols are being prepared. Nick Palmer commanded humanity's most advanced exploration vessels, ships that could travel farther and faster than anything else in the galaxy. His mission was to find new species before they found the established civilizations. Are we ready for more first contacts? Kate asked. Our xenology teams say yes, Alex answered. Dr. Roberts has developed new protocols based on our experience. Hiding from the galaxy. We know how to approach new species without threatening them. The irony wasn't lost on Kate. Humanity had spent 30 years pretending to be weak newcomers. Now they were the experienced galactic power greeting actual newcomers. Admiral, Steve said, there's something else. The Council is proposing a new galactic charter. They want humanity to take a formal leadership role. Kate raised an eyebrow. What kind of leadership role? Head of the Galactic Security Council. Commander of Joint Peacekeeping Forces. Mediator for major disputes between species. They want us to become the galaxy's government, Kate said quietly. Essentially, yes, Steve replied. The question is, do we want that responsibility? Kate considered the question. 30 years ago, humanity had just wanted to survive in a dangerous galaxy. They had hidden their strength to avoid being conquered or destroyed. Now the galaxy was asking them to take charge. What does Earth think? Kate asked. The Global Council is divided, Alex replied. Some see it as the natural result of our success. Others worry about the burden of ruling hundreds of different species. Kate understood both perspectives. Leadership brought security, but also responsibility. Every decision would affect trillions of beings across the galaxy. And Ambassador Grant's opinion? She thinks we should accept, Alex said, but gradually. Take on specific responsibilities rather than overall command. Build trust slowly. That sounded like Lisa. Even after everything that had happened, she still believed in careful, patient progress. Admiral, a communications officer, called from the control room. We're receiving a priority message from the Altarian system. Kate walked to the communication station. The message was from Admiral Palmer's exploration fleet. Admiral Sullivan. Nick's voice came through clearly. We've made contact with a new civilization in Sector 7. They're called the Harmony. Collective. Peaceful, advanced, and very interested in joining the galactic community. Kate smiled. Another species ready to join the galaxy. Another success for human diplomacy. They have one request, Nick continued. They want to meet with human leadership before making contact with other species. Apparently, our reputation for fair dealing has spread beyond our borders. Understood, Kate replied. Prepare for formal first contact protocols. Ambassador. Grant will lead the delegation. As the message ended, Kate realized something important. The galaxy had changed, but so had humanity. They were no longer the frightened species hiding in the shadows. They had become the civilization that other species trusted to guide them. Admiral, Steve said, I have a recommendation about the Galactic Charter. Go ahead, accept the position, but on our terms. We'll maintain peace and mediate disputes, but we won't rule. We'll lead by example, not by force. Kate nodded slowly. The galaxy needs stability, and like it or not, we're the only species strong enough to provide it. Plus, Alex added with a grin, if we don't take the job, someone else will. And they might not be as nice as we are. Kate laughed. True. Better us than the hegemony. She looked out at the ships moving through space around Haven Station. Human vessels, alien traders, exploration fleets, and diplomatic missions. All working together in the new galaxy that humanity had helped create. Send a message to Ambassador Grant, Kate ordered. Tell her we accept the Council's proposal. But we do this the human way. Carefully, patiently, and with respect for every species in the galaxy. Yes, Admiral, Alex replied as the orders went out. Kate reflected on the journey that had brought them here. 30 years of hiding, planning, and building. Decades of pretending to be weak while becoming strong. All leading to this moment. The galaxy had thought humanity was a glitch in their systems. A minor,